Hello and welcome back to the jumps. So, I haven't posted this season, and that's because of change in priorities. I finished study, moved around the country, and I was still reeling from a very long-lasting injury. So basically, this is my entire injury-riddled season in about 8 minutes. And as a quick message to you out there, don't compete through the fucking pain. But anyway, to begin, I've been hurt since July, but I really didn't want to miss any jumping. So I taped that ankle up, used a short run up, and jumped with as little lean as possible. And I opened with a 195, and missed all my attempts on 2, and they weren't even really that close. And yes, the ankle came out worse the next day, but better the next week. Also, here's me and Caitlyn doing some pole vault. And here's a cute picture of us at our favourite place in the world. Next comp was a fun rhythm and jumps in Christchurch. Still using a slow 5-step, taped up, and trying to plant in a way that didn't cook my leg. I went over 193, made it over 196 I think here, and then I have a good attempt at 198, which afterwards I left the meet limping, and I didn't do any heights after this. But I did talk to one of my competitors and he actually recommended a really strong ankle brace. So that limp I had was very short-lived, and next meet I rock up with this industrial grade ankle support. And it's kind of great, don't have to think about planting correctly anymore, because it just kind of locks me in place. So I just jump. You can tell I'm moving faster, it's first time trying an 8-step, and I get a nice clearance over 197. But then it does come to 2 meters, a once routine jump, and I just can't nail it right now. I do just kind of be sucking right now. Maybe if I just stopped and healed, but we'll forget about that for now. I also ran a 300 meter this meet. I ran 37 seconds, I can't quite remember. I really didn't film many sprints this season. I think all I know is I opened with a 12. And I ended up running an 11.46 near the end of the season, a 22.93 in the 200, which I'm fucking stoked about, and a 52.5 in the 400. That might be off, but it was definitely a 52. Oh, and also Caitlyn got on the papers. Proud moment, it's hung up on the wall. Moving on to the next meet, at this point I'd actually graduated. So while moving up the country I was just hitting whatever big meet there was on. So here I've got this new brace on. I haven't really been training because I can't even walk on uneven surfaces. But I decided to use my old 10-step run up from last season. And I haven't jumped on anything longer than a 5-step in about 8 months. So everything's just kind of going wrong. I can't handle the speed, I feel really uncomfortable, but I do get an alright attempt at 2, but I'm very frustrated I'm still not making it. Also here's world champ Hamish Kerr going over 225, the absolute freak. Oh, and here's actually a 100 meter I filmed. 11.52 with a 1.9 wind. It wasn't my best work of the season. I think I ran 2 faster than this and with less wind. But it kind of just proved to me my form was coming together. But the brace is still on, and in the high jump I did miss all my other attempts. But I did get the 2 meter jumps that I didn't make. Still, just look at these, man. They were really close, and I actually walked away feeling really confident, and my ankle feeling better than ever. So of course I head into next week feeling really good. It's another jumps to music meet, and everyone just jumps like shit. It was a mega windy day. Everyone jumps 5 centimeters below their norm. I don't make 197, but I was also trying an ultra wide run up because I found it hurts less. So after this meet, I jumped like shit, but I actually feel pretty damn good. And because of that, in the first meet of February, the brace comes off. For the first time in legitimately 8 months, I'm jumping full run up, no tape, and a 1 out of 10 pain. And if you're really focusing on the details, my run up looks like shit, and it's slow. But it was honestly the beginning of the comeback. I mean, obviously we're also jumping in what looks like a fucking swamp. I'm flying over some of these heights, feeling kind of bouncy for once, and I go first time over 198. But I did feel a big pang through the old injury. So brace comes on again for 203, and while the brace makes you feel great, it's at this point I realize I just jump like shit in it. So 2 weeks later, back at the same track, and the run-up's looking a bit more refined. I've been working on running it a bit more smoothly, but I'm definitely still struggling with it. But more importantly, no brace, No pain. Mid-February, and finally, after limping around since July, I'm genuinely healed. So it was first time clearances over 194, 198, a bunch of heights before that, but we get to 201. And it's been 8 months since I've gone over 2. It's a huge mental barrier. First attempt's in the bin, but then second attempt, and I'm ecstatic. You wouldn't believe the relief this jump gave me. Genuinely, I was trying to jump before I could even walk. And I really mean that. I actually regret what I did this season. I wish I'd done it right, but you can't go back. And 203 wasn't even fucking close. But before we move to the next, Caitlyn recap. She'd actually gone and PB'd at every single meet we'd been at, either in the triple jump, long jump, and her 100 meter time, holy shit. But in the high jump, she'd landed on her neck so bad, we'd thought she'd actually broken. So this is her first meet back, and you can tell. She's scared, and rightfully so. She's sitting over these heights, but still gets up to a PB, and comes in goated, clutching to get over 136. That's some pretty good form considering the absolute fear she had. Also some good attempts at 140. Okay, now out of Masterton. One of my favourite tracks, but we get a really windy day. The run-up's slightly more refined, and I'm nailing heights. Land the 2 meter first try, we back, but 204, and my leg is beyond fatigued. I did a 100, I did some long jump before this. I actually hit the wall in a high jump competition. But things are moving really well, because even after all those events, I'm injury free. And then I actually didn't film the next meet, so here's some training 195 attempts on a short run up. But I do actually hit 204 in a comp that weekend, and it was a great fucking feeling. A huge confidence booster with Nats coming up in 2 weeks. So that being said, 1 week before Nats, I start a comp at 195, my highest starting height ever. And I'm just going for some big heights, focusing on my curve and speed, and it looks really good. I second attempt 95 and 2 meters, and then I go to 205, 1 centimeter off my PB. Only 40 days after being pain-free, I third attempt it, and the run-up was smooth and fast and all the way through, and it really felt like it's finally going my way. Although 208 not so much. So moving into nationals, and it turned out to be one of the highest jumping competitions I've ever been a part of, and Hamish didn't even turn up. I start shaky, miss my opener at 191, sail over at second attempt, but I stay focused on executing my run up. I scrape over 196, I just take off 201, I can tell I leaned a little into it, so I fix that next attempt, and I go over it big. The confidence is back. The next height, 206. And 3 boys ahead of me go over first attempt. I needed a first attempt clearance at my personal best to stay in the game. And I barely skim it off. With what was realistically probably my best jump of the season. The next attempt, I lean a little too into it. And the final attempt, I kick my leg on the curve and just flail. So 201 for 5th place. And that was about that. 4.5 months of my season in 8 minutes. And I'm really proud of the last month and a half. I actually kind of clutched to pull it together to be competitive at nationals. But I do really deeply regret jumping hurt and delaying a 3-month injury to 8 months. Do as I say, not as I do. Because holy shit, those were the most exhausting months of my life. Sports-wise, that is. The rest of life has actually been really good. I also moved to a new place that's way up north that does winter meets now. So there's like athletics 9 months of the year here. So I'll be jumping very soon and pain-free. So yeah, I hope your jumping's going well, and I really hope you're enjoying the sport. Because at the end of the day, that's really all that matters, isn't it? Thanks for watching, and I'll try post a little bit more.